episode of Rawtism is about No, I should wait till I'm sitting. Okay. This episode of Rawtism is about comfort items. I like murder shows, comfy clothes, and maybe 3 people. So that's my sweatshirt that I thought fit with this topic very well. It felt appropriate to the topic. Comfort items can be anything. Stuffies from your childhood, a hoodie that you've had forever, or a stim toy that helps you focus. I don't need examples for everything. Chill. Whatever object you reach for when your brain feels like it's buffering. What are comfort items? A comfort item is any object that helps a person feel safe, regulated, grounded, or emotionally stable. That's the definition. Having a comfort item isn't childish and immature. Unless they greatly impede your life, it isn't something you need to grow out of. For autistic and other neurodivergent people, especially, comfort items help with emotional regulation, sensory grounding, anxiety reduction, transitions, and preventing meltdowns or shutdown. Sometimes the item itself isn't magical. It's what the item represents: predictability, familiarity, control, and safety. Comfort items matter because they provide consistent sensory input, act as an anchor during stress, reduce cognitive load, and increase independence by preventing overwhelm. Taking away comfort items doesn't build resistance. It removes a coping strategy. It's like taking away someone's glasses to force them to see on their own. It's not going to work the way you want it to. If you're worried that allowing a child to keep their comfort item past a certain age will lead to avoiding real-world problems, don't worry. Avoidance is refusing to engage with life. A comfort item helps someone stay engaged. I wanted to make a joke and then I realized I'm married, not engaged. I've been married over a year. Like a year and a half. I don't know why. I was like, oh, I'm engaged. Nope. Okay. If holding a plushie lets someone sit through a meeting, attend class, or survive a grocery store run, that's not avoidance. That's accessibility. Comfort items don't prevent growth. They support it. Thank you for all the likes, Braxton. I'll have to cut that out of the actual podcast episode. Okay. Many autistic adults were forced to give up comfort items as kids. Not because they stopped needing them, but because it wasn't safe to be visibly autistic. Those needs don't disappear. They go underground. And then we wonder why autistic burnout is so intense later in life. Let people keep the tools that help them function. It's cheaper than therapy and kinder than shame. At the time of this recording, I am 26 years old, past college, and have started my career. My teddy bear's name is Cappuccino, and he sleeps in bed with me and my husband. There's nothing wrong with that. It may seem more mature to hug a pillow, but I don't really care. Cappy is my nighttime comfort, and I'm perfectly okay with sleeping with my teddy bear as an adult. I don't need it as much as I did when I was younger. Cappuccino doesn't accompany me on vacations or other overnight activities that take me away from my own bed. I can sleep without my teddy bear, but that doesn't mean I should have to. Comfort items in schools, workplaces, and public spaces. If a comfort item isn't hurting anyone, interfering with learning, or unsafe, there's no valid reason to ban it. Also, allowing comfort items often improves focus, reduces disruptive behavior, increases emotional regulation, and supports independence. This applies to classrooms, workplaces, and therapy settings. Regulation always comes before expectation. If it helped you get through the day, it's doing its job. You don't owe an explanation for how you survive. You're allowed to choose comfort and softness. You're allowed to bring your nervous system support with you. Beep, boop, beep. Okay. Comfort items versus comfort people. So far, we've been talking about comfort items. Objects that help regulate the nervous system. But there's another layer to this that doesn't get brought up enough. Comfort people. A comfort person is someone whose presence helps your nervous system calm down. Not because they fix anything, but because they are predictable, safe, and regulating. For many autistics, and neurodivergent people in general, comfort people function very similarly to comfort items. They lower anxiety just by being nearby, help reduce sensory overwhelm, provide emotional grounding, and make unfamiliar environments feel survivable. Don't get me wrong, this isn't dependence. I'm doing a lot of air quotes today. This isn't dependence. It's co-regulation, which is a normal human need. A comfort person might be a parent, a sibling, a caregiver, a partner or best friend, teacher, an aide, therapist, or that one coworker that you're close to. Shout out to my Creative Early Learning Center bestie. They usually know when not to talk. Explain things without judgment. Don't rush you. And don't take your overwhelm personally. The safety is not accidental. It builds through trust. We'll talk a little bit more about this in my next episode, Comfort Not Coddling. It's kind of funny that I'm reading this episode today because my main comfort person is my husband, which I hope that that's true for all married neurodivergent people, that your spouse is a comfort person and they make you feel safe. But I watched a show last night with my father-in-law and it ended at 10, so I stayed over. But I wasn't planning to stay over. I brought an overnight bag just in case, so I had all my meds. But I wasn't planning to stay over, so I texted my husband letting him know that I was staying over, and he didn't respond. He was playing D&D, and I knew he was playing D&D, but he hadn't responded, and I had a panic attack about him not knowing where I was, even though I texted him that I was staying the night. And so I flipped out, panicked, called him, his dad called him, and when he finally got his phone, he called me back and he calmed me down. Was not upset that I called him 3 times. He calmed me down, helped me stop crying. And then the next morning, today, when I walked in, he jokingly said, "Wow, it's a good thing you didn't panic," which made me laugh. And then I explained to him that the panic attack was mostly me worrying that he wouldn't know where I was, and that now I realize that my text that he would have read once he got out of his D&D session. He works for a bar as a DM. It's like a board game bar, and he works there on Thursday nights as a DM, so he doesn't have his phone on him during that. But I explained to him that my mind was thinking that, oh no, he's not going to know where I am. He's going to come home and I'm not going to be in bed. I'm not going to be there when he wakes up in the morning, yada, yada, yada. So I was freaking out. It didn't occur to me, or it didn't process. It did occur, but it didn't fully process that I sent him a text saying I was staying the night. He knew it was a possibility, and that would have been okay. When he got his phone, he would have seen that. He would have been like, okay, good night. But I was freaking out because it was 10:40. It's supposed to stop at 10. But sometimes they go over because people are just talking and stuff. And that happened this time. So when he got his phone and he called back his dad first, and then he called me back, which makes sense because his dad calls him less, so it would seem more emergent or urgent. But that's an example of how my comfort person, he doesn't take my overwhelm personally. He explains things without judgment. He reminded me that he doesn't have his phone when he's DMing, and he calmed me down. It wasn't, I don't have my phone while I'm DMing. Why would you call me 3 times? It was, that's okay. Remember, I don't have my phone while I'm DMing. And I was just I was so scared that, I got scared because you didn't answer. And he's like, that's okay. But you gotta remember, on Thursdays, he was very calm and explained it to me. And I apologized several times. I'm like, I'm sorry for freaking out and stuff. And he was like, it's okay. Because he knows if he tells me not to be sorry, it's not gonna get rid of the sorry feeling. Him saying it's okay, even though I didn't do anything wrong, validates my I'm sorry, so that the feeling that I need to apologize goes away. But that's an example of comfort people. My husband, I love him to pieces. Next week on Rawtism, we discuss attachment, regulation, and school safety in relation to comfort. See you next week. Boop.